I'm Krystle. I've loved dolls my whole life. I collect everything from porcelain to cloth, American Girl, neonates, and real care dolls. But my favorite is to collect and make reborn dolls. There's Chloe, Grace, Jeremy, Maya, Yuki, Savannah, Zoe, Haley, Landon, Maisie, and Joshua. It isn't easy keeping up with my collection, but it sure is a lot of fun. Hey guys, welcome to another Twin Tuesday, and I'm back again with Bella because I want to get her out of these pajamas. I feel they're too wintry, Christmassy, and it's starting to warm up here slowly, although it's calling for snow again tomorrow. But overall, it's been warming up. So, and I've been dying to try this outfit on a doll, and I really have this feeling it's going to suit Bella. I've really had her in mind for this outfit. So this outfit is a denim skirt, and it has little blue stars all over it, light blue, and in the corner, the bottom left-hand corner, it's got the embroidered AG logo with the star in purple. The top has two little metal buttons, and those are going to be because it comes with suspenders. So this was a cute little set. I forget the name of it because I did not put it in a Ziploc bag with the name. The mix and match pieces, I don't bother bagging them. I just put them in a Rubbermaid drawer as a mix and match. So I don't really worry about labeling them. However, I do plan to make a Word. I've started it. I haven't finished it though, but I plan to make a Word document on my computer where I would have the picture of the mix and match item and the name of it and what line it was from and stuff. This I don't think was any particular line. These were just AG mix and matches. And so the top, it's a short sleeve purple top, and it has a rainbow, 3 sparkly stars, and a cute little dog. And I believe this is the American Girl dog named Coco, I think. And it says chase your dreams. And I'm gonna bring them up close so you guys can see them. So there's the shirt up close. You can see the little dog, and then the skirt. So let's get ready to change Bella. I also forgot to mention, I'm gonna pair this outfit with these shoes, and these came from a recent mix and match line. Again, I forget the name. These ones I did have in a bag, but I put the bag away, so I don't remember the name. But they are sparkly shoes that have a little band that goes around the heel. And it's a mix of purple, blue, and silver sparkles. And the bow is a teal color. So I thought that would go really well with this outfit. So I'm going to get her changed. Yeah. So, oh, I didn't think to get earrings. I want to give her different earrings that will match this. I'll have to do that after. Okay, let's make sure you guys can see. There we go. So what's new with you guys? Here in Ontario, things are a mess. Our numbers, our cases keep going up for some weird reason. I personally have to wonder if a lot of the numbers are being misreported, if there's any false positives, because We had an incident happen at my grandma's, in my grandma's senior building, which, by the way, my grandmother is back in the hospital. I don't know if I mentioned that to you guys. A few weeks. She wasn't home very long. She was home. When she got home, she had to quarantine for 14 days because apparently that's the government's ruling, that when they come back from a hospital setting, they have to quarantine 14 days, even though she had a negative COVID test. Like, where's the sense in that? They just keep locking up the seniors, saying it's for their protection, it's for their protection, and yet it's doing more damage than good, in my opinion. My grandma is getting worse and worse every time I talk to her. Her memory is getting worse. When she talks to me now, she either doesn't know who I am, or she recognizes me as Krystle, but she thinks I'm still a kid, and is always surprised at how old I sound on the phone. And she'll ask me, like, if I'm still in school and all these things. And so she was home about, I want to say she did her 14-day quarantine, and then they did that whole thing where they moved her room. They moved her to a new room because of the stupid local hospital renting out the floor that my grandma lived on. They rented that out for long-term patients to transfer them there to make room for COVID patients at the hospital or some nonsense. And anyways, they switched her to a new room. She was so confused again. They're just messing things up so badly. And thankfully my mom was able to be there when they did the move. So the movers were good in that basically what they did is they moved her to the exact same room. Like, so it was the exact same layout, and they even painted it the same color for her so that it still looked like her room, but they moved her to the first floor from, I believe she was on the second floor. And so they moved her, and the movers took pictures of how things were set up in her old room, and they set it all up the same way. They hung up her pictures in the same spot. So we were happy about that, because we were so worried, because my uncle, when my grandma moved into this building, my uncle spent a lot of time setting up her room just how she liked it and everything. So, but then my mom went there anyways, and so while my grandmother was downstairs having her dinner, my mom got in the room, and she's like so glad that she was able to go, because she said even though they did a really good job setting up the room, the little things they didn't put away. And so she says if my grandma had have walked in there without my mom there, she would have been confused. She wouldn't have known where to put things or how to organize things. She wouldn't have known where certain things were. So my mom got in there and got everything organized. Man, this skirt was hard to pull up. It's really tight. So they moved her, and a few days after the move, well, from the moment she got back to the residence from the hospital, they were having issues with her wandering and leaving her room. And they were emailing my mom and my uncle all mad, saying, your mother keeps leaving her room and she's supposed to be quarantining for 14 days. You know, we can't watch her. We're going to have to hire like a security guard to stand outside her door. And if we have to do that, then she's going to have to pay for that. Like, they were horrible, just horrible. And so anyways, she gets to her new room, and of course she starts her wandering off again. And because she's on the first floor, that means she has access to the exit at the front of the building, which the building faces a busy road. So anyways, one night the nurse went up, got her settled in for the night, got my grandma ready for bed, got her in her bed, I believe even put the CPAP machine on her and everything, got her all ready, and left the room thinking all was well. And then 15 minutes later, another resident in the building on the same floor, started calling out, or they called, I think they called the nurse's station and said that they're hearing someone in the hallway calling for help. And it turns out my grandmother had left her room again, didn't take her walker with her, and was headed to the exit of the building and fell, and she broke her wrist. So she was back in the hospital, and she was in the hospital about 2 or 3 weeks, I believe it was. And so they finally had her come home last week, and once again she has to be locked away in her room for another 14 days, even though again she had a negative COVID test. So anyways, while she was in the hospital, my mom got an email from her building saying that even though all of the staff members and all of the residents have had both vaccines, like they're fully vaccinated against COVID, even though they are, you okay, buddy? Trying to find a way out? Okay. That even though they're all vaccinated, they still are required to do testing on on the staff. I believe it's just the staff now. They have to test the staff here, honey, I'll help you. I'll help you, sweetie. Here you go. They have to test the staff every Monday and Friday, even though they're vaccinated. Now, what happened was they tested some staff members on a Monday, and 5 of those staff members came back positive, even though they'd been vaccinated. And so immediately they said, we will be retesting them again on Wednesday, and until then, everyone's in quarantine again for 14 days. Now, thankfully, my grandmother was still at the hospital anyway, so she didn't have to take part in that. Well, then, 2 days later, they retested them, and they were all negative. All of them. All 5 of them were negative. Okay? Then they retested them again 2 days after that on the Friday, and they were still negative. So then they said it was a false positive, and the quarantine is over. Everything's back to normal. Residents can go downstairs to the dining room and whatever. So when I heard that in just one day there was 5 false positives, it really made me wonder. It really made me wonder how many false positives are happening. And is this why our numbers are going up? Because there's a lot of false positives happening. Like, I don't know. I have no idea. But anyways, we're basically in lockdown again. And our stupid premier, Doug Ford, he tried to say on Friday that the new restrictions would now be enforced by police, and that police would be allowed to stop you on the street and ask you where you live, why you're out, all of these all of these things, right? This is what he said. And by the next day, Saturday, all of the police force in Toronto, in Ontario, whatever, like the Ontario, the OPP, all the different police forces in Ontario, they came forward with their own statement and they said there is just no way that they're going to do that. They can't. They said that they legally cannot stop people on the street. They cannot pull over drivers unless they're speeding or breaking the law in some way. They said they're not doing it. They will not pull over people and ask where they live or ask why they're out, because they say it goes against the code of, whatever it's called, the code of, it's basically against our rights. It's against our right for movement. So they said, no, we're not doing that. And then, of course, our Premier Doug Ford looked like an absolute idiot for trying to say that they would do that when they're like, no, we're not doing that. We can't do that. Not doing it. And so then it was like, Doug Ford's like, okay. So our Premier is dumb as right now. So anyways, that's basically what's been going on here. But Thursday, before the restrictions were imposed, my mom came over for the day, which was really nice. So we had a nice movie day, got to chit chat and watch movies. We had pizza for dinner. We had this homemade peach pie that we had picked up at a market in Collingwood the weekend before. And so we just enjoyed that. We had a really nice time. And as it so turns out, with the new restrictions, my mom is still allowed to come over because they're still having the ruling in that if you live alone, like if you don't live with any other household members, if you live alone, you are allowed to, sorry buddy, you are allowed to go visit someone else's household. So my mom lives by herself, so she is allowed to come and visit still, which is nice. I'm hoping to have her over again soon. Hi buddy, how you doing, honey? Riley's been very confused the last couple of days. He has been wandering a lot more, bumping into things because he can't see. He's just bumping into things a lot and just getting confused. And last night he was circling again, which had me a little worried because he hasn't done that in a long time. And the last time he did that, our vet said that it could be a mini stroke. So I don't know if he had a mini stroke again last night with the circling. He was doing it for a long time. He was walking in circles for a good 10 minutes. And I kept trying to call him over to me, and it was like he wasn't hearing me. And then finally he snapped out of it and was like, and he heard me and he came over. So I don't know, but our vet has basically, I haven't really done a full update on Riley, but our vet has basically told us he is starting to enter the end stages of kidney disease. His numbers are not that great. They're not getting any better. They're just going to slowly get worse. And so she just says we are getting near the end. There's really not much else we can do for him. It's just waiting and watching and seeing his quality of life. And once it gets to a certain level where there's not really much quality of life anymore, then we're going to have to make that decision to say goodbye. But until then, we're doing all we can to make him happy and comfortable. So that's what's going on there. Okay, guys, so here is Miss Bella. She looks adorable, just as I expected in this outfit. I love it. And I don't know if you saw, but I put on these cute little purple crown earrings. This camera I'm filming on probably won't zoom in on it properly, so, but they're little silver crowns, and in the middle is a purple. So it matches really well. I had one heck of a time getting this skirt on. It's a very tight skirt. There's her sparkly shoes, and she even has a purple bracelet already. It's her friendship bracelet. Nicole's doll has the other half of that. So anyways, guys, that's it for Twin Tuesday. Go check out Nicole's video. I'll link it in the description below, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.